Hello, everybody. Thank you once again for joining. Thank you so much for watching. This episode, we are going to look at the before and after of the Grandmaster Jay trial. Of course, Grandmaster Jay, also known as John Fitzgerald Johnson, was found guilty on 2 counts of wanton endangerment in federal court in Louisville, Kentucky, earlier last week. And we're going to begin by looking at what Grandmaster Jay had to say before the trial began.
Peace. I bid you shalom. I have an update for you as I promised. First of all, let me let you all know that about maybe 10 minutes ago, maybe 20, I don't know who's keeping count, but there was a hearing this morning in Kentucky court, state court. As we all knew, this was supposed to be the follow-up after the big trial that was supposed to have already happened, which did not happen. So just as we expected this morning, the state of Kentucky has once again let the federal government know that they're not going to do anything because you haven't done anything. So they passed the ball back to them as we expected. You see, the state already knows that they can't really do nothing like they want to. The feds do what they want to do. That's how they want to play it. The feds keep postponing, which they really have run out of reasons to do. So today, the judge looked right at everybody and said, y'all know why we're not here for nothing else but to respond to what they've already done. So here's your update. State of Kentucky, again, has decided not to do anything, but to go ahead and wait to see what the feds are going to do. And we will reconvene on Tuesday, June 21st. That will be a Zoom call. As you can see, the state of Kentucky is not interested in pursuing these bogus charges. Now, the update for everybody else is tomorrow, which will be the 18th, I will physically be appearing in federal district court in Louisville so that they can argue whether or not they will be admitting certain evidence and other evidence that may be stricken, including a ton of stuff that I just dropped on them because now they know somewhat what my defense is going to be. That being said, for all of you all, and then of course next Monday, May the 23rd, is supposed to be the beginning of the federal trial. Let me let you all know, we're not falling for the okie doke again. I encourage anybody to do not show up on the 23rd, because every time we've shown up, they've taken our money, taken your resources, taken your time away from your jobs, and taken time away from your families just because you want to come see justice done, and then they decide to change the date. We're going to do it a little backwards. If they do start the trial on the 23rd, then you should be there on the 24th, because once they start the trial, there's no way that they can stop it. And too many times they made us play our hand without seeing their hand. In the meantime, we're going to proceed the 23rd. If you want to come out and spectate, I would tell you that it will probably be the 24th, because at least you know the trial has already begun. Please continue to donate to the Grandmaster Jay Legal Defense Fund. I'm not being able to do this and stay free and fight like this without your help. And in spite of all the things that are going on in this country right now, I told you, if you don't learn from your mistakes, you will repeat them. And like I said once before, this is not history repeating itself. It's people repeating history. The Emmanuel 9 shooting of 2015 and now the Buffalo shooting of 2022. What changed and what changed back? When did we wake up and when did we fall asleep? When did we become sheep? You see, it's something like that is what moved me. It should move you too. If you're interested in joining the NFAC, go to blacknfac.com and request a membership application. We got work to do because we still want to be treated as equal human beings and not hunted down simply for the color of our skin. I bid you peace. I bid you shalom. I love you all.
So there's Grandmaster Jay in his own words prior to the trial last week. And you heard mentioned there that on June 21st, a state trial, state of Kentucky versus John Fitzgerald Johnson, is scheduled to begin to answer the state charges. And this is what was on WHAS channel 11, ABC affiliate out of Louisville on yesterday.
Group now tied to Louisville could spend more than 20 years in prison. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Tom Lally. A jury convicted John Johnson, better known as Grandmaster Jay, of assaulting, resisting, or impeding officers during the protests in 2020. Some wonder why these specific charges were chosen and what they'll mean for his sentencing. The WHAS 11 night team's Ford Sanders finds out.
The conviction rate in U.S. District Court is not good for defendants. Generally, the conviction rate exceeds 90%.
Grandmaster Jay, now a part of that statistic. He faced 2 counts after being indicted in December 2020. One was assaulting, resisting, or impeding officers engaged in official duty, as well as brandishing a firearm in relation to a crime of violence.
There are basically 3 levels of punishment in this statute. Level 1 is a misdemeanor. Level 2 is up to 8 years. He got the enhanced penalty of up to 20 years because this enhanced penalty requires whoever in the commission of acts described in subsection 8 uses a deadly or dangerous weapon.
Thomas Clay is an attorney in Louisville and says, with the way the law is written, the presence of the firearm led to why prosecutors chose the most serious of possible charges. Jeffersonville, Indiana attorney Larry Wilder says there is also another layer to that first count, and that comes down to who was actually on the roof.
Add the layer of the federal officer, you add the layer of the gun, and then it becomes the federal officer enhances it.
So what happens when it comes to conviction? The jury of 16 sat in on all 4 days of the trial, hearing witnesses, being shown evidence, and hearing Grandmaster Jay testify.
The benefit of going to trial in front of a jury is the jury hears the evidence and they decide which side they believe.
And when it came to the makeup of the jury, well, they were mostly white, and lawyers tell me that this isn't necessarily uncommon for federal trials.
Jefferson County, Kentucky, greater Louisville, there's a lot fewer minorities. There's a concentration. When you get to the federal courts, and the federal district encompasses such a large area of a not so diverse state, then you're going to get a primarily white juror.
Both Wilder and Clay tell me it's not unusual for federal trials to pull outside of the county it's happening in, which then means a lesser chance of diversity in the jury. For the sentencing, both lawyers tell me that is based on a number of factors like criminal history, employment status, amongst others.
There's going to be a lot of argument that's going to be made to mitigate the potential sentence. And the judge has the ability to do that. We're seeing that in Washington, D.C. right now with the insurrection, January 6th insurrection prosecution.
Clay saying it could be likely Johnson will see a minimum of 7 years. In Louisville, Ford Sanders, WHS 11 on your side.
That's for federal charges. On a state level, Johnson is also facing 5 counts of wanton endangerment for this same issue.
So there we go. The before and the after of the Grandmaster Jay federal trial. If you haven't seen it, please go back and watch the previous episode. We'll put a link to it up here, and we're going to keep monitoring what's going on, and going to try to see if we can't get in and actually get in and talk with Grandmaster Jay while he is incarcerated. So a blessed Memorial Day weekend to one and all, a blessed Memorial Day Monday, and thank you for watching, and we will be back.